Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zebu Nation Plays the FM Scout Academy Challenge with FC Dallas. And here we are at the end of Season 7, and it ends where we hope that all seasons will end, which is a trip to the MLS Cup Finals. And here we are versus Philadelphia. Now, before we get to that, I think I'll take this opportunity to have a little season review. You know, maybe you didn't watch all the 10 or 12, however many videos are in this season. Maybe you just came to the end to see how we did. And I'm going to be truthful with you, we did pretty darn good. Now, we started out not so great. I guess we'll look at the schedule, why not? Quick rundown here. We started out with a trip to South America. We played 3 games, actually 4 games in South America. And we didn't do that great, but that was all in preparation for the North American Champions League. You know, we were just trying to build fitness, play some tougher competition, and get ready for the second half of last year's Champions League, which we qualified for winning our group stage. And then we moved on to the quarterfinal stage where we played Querétaro. We drew them in the first leg and then beat them 1-0 in the second leg to advance to the Champions League semifinals, where we faced our own affiliated team, I should say, Tigres of the Mexican Premier Division. And in the first leg there, we drew them 0-0 again, but then they really stepped it up. They put their boot on our neck and beat us 3-0 in the second leg. Really sort of showed themselves to be the superior team, and that disheartened us a little bit for the beginning of the MLS season. We had a very poor stretch at the beginning of the MLS season, and we were down pretty far in the MLS. I think at one point we were 19th in the standings out of 22 teams, so that was not good. But we got resurrected by a pretty good run that really started, honestly, with the U.S. Cup run. We played very well against Colorado, and then we got a pretty easy game in the 5th round against San Antonio FC, a lower division North American team. And then we went on to really kind of dominate the rest of the Cup schedule, the U.S. Cup. We ended up winning the U.S. Cup pretty handily against Sporting Kansas City. Here's the U.S. Cup final, 3-0 versus Sporting Kansas City. So that was our first trophy of the season, winning the U.S. Cup. Very happy about that. And then since we won the MLS Supporters Shield, no, we won the MLS Cup last season. Because of that, we qualified for the Champions League this season. So we started out group stage, Group B. We were the top team in Group B, and we really wiped the floor with Group B. We can take a look at that real quick. It was, well, I guess we won't take a look at that. Anyway, we went undefeated in group play. You can see there the 4 games against Isidro Metapan and Saprissa. We beat them 4 games, didn't lose a single match. So we qualified for next season's Champions League. Well, we didn't qualify for next season's Champions League. We qualified for the second half of this Champions League, this year's Champions League. It gets kind of confusing when the Champions League is split up between 2 seasons. You know, it's like hard to keep track of. But anyway, we're keeping track of it. So winning that Champions League really boosted our confidence even more. You know, winning that group anyway. And that propelled us on to a Supporters Shield victory in the MLS. Take a look at the competitions here. As you can see with the Supporters Shield, we finished number 1 in the league. After 34 games, we had 61 points, tied with Sporting Kansas City for most number of points. We both had a record of 17 wins, 10 draws, 7 losses, but the big difference was our goal differential. We had a plus 23 goal differential. They had a plus 16 goal differential. So, you know, we were the highest scoring team in the league, most goals, up there in assists and all that kind of stuff. So it was a very, very good year for us. We won the Texas Derby. We won the Lamar Hunt Cup. Basically, we won everything that we went out for, except for the Brimstone Cup versus Chicago. They beat us, I think, 2-0 in the one game we played against them. And then we have one final standing, which is this MLS Cup versus Philadelphia. If we win this game, we'll win the Triple Crown of American soccer, which is winning the Supporters' Shield, winning the U.S. Cup, and then winning the Major League Soccer Championship Cup. So that's what we're going to try to do. I mean, I guess we could go down the checklist real quick here. Finances, we're still good. $35 million in the bank. We've had a profit this season of $7.3 million. Most of that is like TV money and sponsorships and stuff like that. But we did sell a bunch more season tickets, although that didn't help our attendance at all. Our attendance actually went down this season, which is pretty bad. Maybe it's come back up since we've had these playoff games, but I don't know. It's still disappointing. Board-wise, we're back up to untouchable, where we like to be. 79% approval rating. Very happy there. Club rating still only a 3-star. Well, I mean, we're probably the #1 team in North America now. It's been flip-flopping recently between us and Los Angeles. New York City FC has been in there a little bit as well, but for the most part, we are one of, if not the top club in North America. Transfers, there's nothing happening since the last time around, but I guess we can look at our transfer history for this season just to give you a rundown. We had another very good super draft this season. We picked up 4 #1 draft picks, 4 first-round draft picks. We picked up old Joe Velasquez in the waiver draft because we needed him, and he's an old player of ours that we cut a couple years ago, and now he's only 24 years old. Picked him up just to be a reserve. We traded Sean Schlavoski away for a first-round draft pick, and then we got him back on the waiver draft as well. So that was interesting. We brought one player up from the academy, Kevin Lure, a goaltender. Not a very good goaltender, but we just needed a guy at one point in the season because we traded away our #1 goalkeeper, Jesse Gonzalez, the guy who's been with us since the first season. He has been our #1 goalkeeper. And we finally got rid of him. Injuries caught up with him. He just kept getting injured, and we got a very good offer for him from America, Mexico. And just didn't pass it up. Got $1.3 million for him, so that's good. Other than that, not a lot happened. We waived a goalkeeper, sent a bunch of dudes out on loan. Sent Tom Fleming to Miami at the beginning of the season. He was just another academy kid, but he was a reserve. He was never going to play. So no problems there. Trades, we can run through the trades real quick. We traded a bunch of different draft picks around. We traded one of our #1 draft picks this season, Joshua Cisak, because we drafted 3 central midfielders, and he just the other 2 guys started blossoming, and we didn't need him, so we traded him away for a first and second round pick and a little bit of money to Portland. And good luck to him out there. So not much happening since then. Oh, we did trade another international slot to Houston for a second round draft pick, but inconsequential for the most part. All right, so that's pretty much what's going on. So let's get to our match preview here. Oh, wait. One last thing. Well, we got the news on who we're playing in the Champions League next season. So take a look here at the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It's going to start at the end of next preseason. We'll be able to play in the Champions League quarterfinals. And here's the lineup. America, Mexico versus Chivas. Philadelphia versus Tigres, so Tigres is back in it again this season. New England versus Houston in the quarterfinals, so we're guaranteed at least one MLS team in the semifinals. That's good. And then finally, FC Dallas versus Monterrey. Monterrey is currently 3rd in the Mexican First Division. So they're a tough team. We've been scouting them a little bit. We can take a look at their tactics. And yeah, they are pretty good. I mean, they're pretty equivalent to Tigres. They got some very, very fine players, especially in the midfield. They got a ton of midfielders. They're using 5 midfielders here in sort of a weird like rocket ship formation going on here. So we got our work cut out for us next season in the Champions League. So we'll continue to scout these guys, continue to hopefully improve our own team, and maybe get another victory in the Champions League next season. But that's for next season. This season we're going to finish up by beating Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Union, in the MLS Cup. Let's take a look at that. So as you can see right off the bat, we got issues. We got problems. We got a lot of red on our ledger here. Miguel Escobedo, if you saw the last game, he got suspended like 2 minutes into our second leg of the Western Conference Finals. And, we had to play pretty much the whole game with 10 men. And, we were able to come out with a draw, and that secured us the aggregate victory. But still, it was very, very disappointing for Escobedo to get that suspension. We appealed it. They denied the appeal, of course. And so Escobedo, once again, out. Next up, Alcantara. He got injured in that same game. He had a torn groin muscle. So that's going to keep him out. He's out for another 2 weeks, so he ain't coming back in time for the Cup, because the Cup is like in a couple of hours. So he's out of there. And then during training this week, Jeff Zamora, our advanced playmaker, he got injured for a strained knee ligament. He's out for another 5 to 6 weeks. So that's going to stretch into the preseason next year. So he's out of there. So we got some holes in our dang old lineup here. Well, let's go. We can plug Gonzalez in easily at the advanced playmaker role. Not much of a drop-off there. He's still a 3-star player. We have Cole on the bench, or we also have Sal Bailey. Sal Bailey's not quite as match fit as I'd like, so we're going to bring in Cole. Put him in there. We're going to bring Bailey. We're going to bring Bailey up as a reserve, so that's good there. Fills that gap. Now, Cole isn't real comfortable at the left side, but, gotta do what you can. He can play there. He is mostly comfortable there on the left-hand side, so it's fine. It's fine. Our other option is we could swap Acosta over there. He's got the same issue, so we'll keep Acosta on the right-hand side. He's played very well on that right-hand side. We're going to leave him there. And hopefully he continues that play. Now our final problem here is what to do with striker. Obviously we have Ben Manning, but he's a target man like Washington. He can't really play that complete forward role. But you know what? He's not the worst advanced forward in the world. So we're going to put him up there at advanced forward, and then we need another reserve for our striker position. So we're going to look down the bench here. Who do we got? We got Rhodes, Shlavatsky, and Bricamontes. None of these guys are match fit. None of these guys have played in a very long time. But Bricamontes is the most talented, so we're going to move him up there. And then also we need another advanced midfielder, so we're going to have to go with old Joe Velasquez, the guy that we just saw. We picked him up this season on a free transfer, one of our old players that we cut a couple years ago. He's back, 24 years old, not the greatest player you've ever seen, but he's steady. His problem is, of course, no match fitness. I don't think he's played a single game. Maybe he's played 1 or 2 games this season in like the U.S. Cup or something like that, or even against Saprissa or somebody like that in the Champions League. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so here's our lineup. Sanchez in goal. He's been our starter for pretty much all season. Acosta, Cole at fullbacks, Johnson Zimmerman, the Rocks in defense, Phil Van de Castile at defensive midfielder, McCrecky, our rookie, Thompson, and Ross Gonzalez in the midfield. Then strikers Ben Manning, Francis Washington. So that's an interesting lineup, a little bit of a curveball we've been thrown with these injuries and suspensions, but I think that's okay. Coming off the bench, we got Suarez, Bailey at fullback, Venezuela. Anyway, Valenzuela at central defense, Ulloa, Guevara, Velasquez, and Bracamontes rounding out our substitutes. So there we go. Let's submit the team and move on to the Cup. You know, it's been a trying season. It's been a very, very busy season with all these different things that we've been doing. Team selection, Gonzalez lacks match sharpness. Yeah, that's fine. It's been a very busy season with all the competitions that we've had, all the ups and downs. But it's been an awful rewarding season, I got to say. Not just in the trophy cabinet, but just the way the team has responded and bounced back has been very good. All right, we've got a question here from Cody Peacock of the American Soccer Gazette. Experienced and hatred for us. Okay. This could be the last time we see Sal Bailey in an FC Dallas jersey. Do you have any special plans to give him an appropriate send-off? Not really. I know it's a predictable response, but the main task is to ensure we win. Anything else would be nice, but will hardly be a priority. I mean, you got to be truthful, I guess. You come into this one in good form with your opponents do not. Seems like very difficult for them to not be in good form making it all the way to the MLS Cup, but I guess I'll go with your premise here. Do you perhaps fear complacency ahead of kickoff? No. I don't have any concerns about that. We've prepared in a professional manner. All right, so the absence of Alcantara is sure to be felt. Yeah, no doubt there. How hard will it be without his services? Yeah, we looked good in training and prepared for this eventuality. Okay, so Philadelphia going with the 4-4-2. And we got an interesting name there in the middle of their central defense, Paxton Pomykal. Guy we traded away a couple seasons because of the development of Mark Thompson. So let's see what old Paxton Pomykal is up to these days. He's up to 3.5 stars, 5 pros, 4 cons. Still looking pretty good. You know, he's not the biggest, strongest dude in the world, but he's, you know, pretty decent. He's nice and fast and quick and agile. Good first touch, passing, all that stuff, you know, vision, work rate. It's not like we didn't like this guy. It's just, you know, we didn't have room for him. He wasn't going to play. We had to ensure the development of Thompson, who is, you know, quite frankly, a better player. There's no doubt about that. It's just unfortunate that both of those guys played the exact same position. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Other than that, they're pretty good, but I think they're beatable, and I'm pretty sure we beat them before. So they got their defender, their fullbacks are on defense mode. You can see they're slightly behind their central defense. So that's good. We don't like teams that send their fullbacks and wingers forward. So it looks like they're playing a defensive 4-4-2, so they're going to be very, very hard to break down. I think that means we can go with our control game and try to take control of this match. All right, so let's apply our advice to the team. Let's close down on just on their strikers. Tightly mark just their strikers. That's all we need. I don't think anything else is necessary at this point. Anyway, all right, so here we go. Pep talk, passionate. We're the favorites here. Go out there and impress me. All right, nobody cares about that. Instructions, control. That's right. You know what? Let's go flexible and be more expressive. Let's get out there. Just do our thing. Pass the ball around. Take command of this match. All right. Here we go. Handshake, sort of awkward high five handshake at half midfield there. That was weird. So here we are. We get the home field advantage in Toyota Stadium, a packed house. Philadelphia starts the first possession of the game. Nicholas down the sideline. Going up against Acosta. Acosta harasses him. Thankfully, he doesn't get a red card in the very first tackle of the match, the way old Escobedo did. Anyway, we got to think about Escobedo, man. I mean, he's one of the best players in the whole country. But he's got anger management problems. We got to send this guy to a psychiatrist or something. Yellow card for Manning off the bat. Come on, fella. We should encourage our players to try a more direct passing plays. Cole with the yellow card. What's with these yellow cards all of a sudden? Offsides from Cole. All right, 20 minutes down, nothing happening. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's go standard, chain possession. Let's go back to disciplined and structured, just because I think they're getting a little out of control here with all these yellow cards and offsides and stuff. So we'll try a little bit more direct passing, not actual direct passing. There's a yellow card on their part for Philadelphia. 20 minutes down, no highlights to speak of. It's a very conservative match. Neither team wants to let loose at the moment. I mean, we're trying, but I don't think Philadelphia is going to engage. I think they're going to be very conservative, considering we're the highest scoring team in the league. Here's a highlight. Cole to McCrecky. Gonzalez now spearheading the attack from that advanced playmaker role. Van de Castile, good passing to Manning. Playing it around the diamond here, back and forth. Our two midfielders. McCrecky gets it forward to Manning. Manning gets it out wide to Acosta. Can Acosta make a play? Centers it for Washington. He's fouled by Tyler Davis. Okay, this is an issue now. Who's going to take this penalty kick? No Ulloa. No Alcantara. I have no idea who's going to take this penalty. Washington, maybe? Yes. It is Washington, the big man, the striker extraordinaire. Can he give us the goal we need? Because I don't know how many goals Philadelphia is going to be able to score. There he is. Washington puts it in the back of the net. That could seal it for us. I'm not going to call it at the moment. His 21st goal of the season. Both of our main strikers scored 20 goals this season. That's outstanding. Washington, here it comes. And the goalkeeper guesses the right direction, but he just can't take it. Can't stop it. Washington blasted it right past him. So there we go. We could go into counterattack, or we could go back into control, I think might be the way to go. We'll see what Philadelphia's up to here. Looks like they're going to get a highlight. Nicholas is going to try to go around Acosta. No, he cannot. That's why Acosta's in there. He's too good defensively out on that wing. Manning with the ball now. Sends it forward to Washington. Can Washington get it out wide to somebody? No, he's going to play it back to Gonzalez. McCrecky, Manning, we're too good at passing. Oh, Manning gets it stolen, but Van de Castile saves the day, picks up the garbage. Thompson out wide to Cole. Can Cole make a play? No. It's not really been his forte this year. Thompson to McCrecky. McCrecky to Gonzalez. Let's make a play here, guys. Manning gets it out wide to Acosta again. Acosta wide open, centers it. Gonzalez with the goal. That's two. That's two. The Triple Crown is within our grasp. We're like Indiana Jones right now. We're measuring the sand, taking it out of our little satchel, measuring it on the ground, getting ready to steal that idol. There's Gonzalez. The easy finish after Acosta. Man, Acosta, he's played so well in the second half of the season. Really, the final stretch to win the Supporters' Shield is when I put Acosta at fullback full time. And he just really came through defensively, and now he's starting to come through offensively, making plays. He directly led to those two goals. So there we go. Finished the first half 2-0. Let's give a passionate pep talk. Very happy with the way things are going instruction-wise. Ooh, we'll go control, and we'll just try to waste time. We'll just try to waste the clock out. If they make an adjustment, we'll make them make the adjustment. We'll make them come after us, because that's not Philadelphia's forte. They're not a goal-scoring club. We saw that in their... They only had a +3 advantage or +6 advantage, whatever it was, in goals. Yeah, they had +3 advantage, and we had +23 advantage. in goals this season, so they're not a goal-scoring club, and I don't see them being able to match us offensively, even without Alcantara. You know, if you didn't see any of the previous saves where I talked about Ben Manning, he's one of our academy players, only 19 years old, but he's had a heck of a run this season. He's scored, double-digit goals himself, mostly in other competitions other than the MLS. But he got a lot of bids this season, all the way up to a couple of Portuguese teams were bidding as high as $3.5 million for this guy. And he was called up to the U.S. Under-23 team. So, he's making waves. There's Sanchez with a nice stop there on the corner kick. So yeah, Manning is our next big superstar at striker. The only problem is that Washington and Alcantara aren't going anywhere anytime soon. They're only in their mid to late 20s. So we might have a logjam there at striker, but we're gonna keep him around as much as we can. So here's Manning getting the ball stolen. He's a target man, so we can't blame him for not being able to. Oh, the Zimmerman misses the header, but the Philadelphia striker there just shanked it. I mean, that was their chance to get back in this game, and they missed it. I don't think they're going to get too many more chances like that. All right, Gonzalez is getting a little tired, but we don't have much options there for him. I don't want to bring in our backup there at that position. McCrecky, we could take McCrecky out. 87 minutes down, and there's Thompson with another free kick goal. This guy is turning into a money player from the free kick position. That's his 4th goal of the season. He scored a previous goal in the playoffs, and he scored a goal in the playoffs last season. So this guy is hitting big when it counts. There he is. Just the goalkeeper can't keep it out. It was just a great strike. And there we are, 3-0, 89 minutes gone. I don't even need to sub in anybody. There's no point at this juncture. Thompson to McCrecky. McCrecky fires downfield to Washington. Can we get a 4th goal? Put a flourish on the end of this? Nope, we can't. But we definitely proved ourselves to be the superior team. I mean, we proved ourselves this season to be, by leaps and bounds, the best team in the MLS. Win the U.S. Cup, win the Supporters' Shield, and now win the MLS Cup. It's just not something I don't think it's ever been done before. So there we go. Continue to the post-match here. Washington played well, had a goal, 7.0 assists. Thompson wins the man of the match here. 93% pass ratio, 9.0 rating with a goal. Outstanding. 138 passes completed. Wow. Take a look at the analysis here. Well, take a look at the stats first, I guess. That's a little less interesting, but very good ratings all the way up and down the board. The only person that struggled a little bit was Manning, who's playing out of position. So we can't blame him too much. But look at that. Acosta with an 8.7 rating. And Thompson with a 9.0 rating. Very good. Now we'll go to the analysis. Acosta, 9.7 miles ran. Almost 10 miles. That's pretty crazy. 23 interceptions on the back line for Johnson. Played very well. Zimmerman, 14 interceptions. He had that one goof at the end of the second half, but it didn't cost us really. 92 and 94% passing from Cole and Van de Castile. That's very good on our back line there to have accurate passing. And then look at all this passing. All that control game that we did, we just racked up the numbers. I've never seen numbers like this, honestly. 142 passes from McCrecky, 138 passes from Thompson, and 118 passes from Gonzalez. That's crazy. And then Washington with 78% of his headers won. That's phenomenal for a striker to win that many headers. That's like, a central defender kind of rating. Anyway, we really dominated the match. 3-0 victory wins us the MLS Cup. We are champions. Victorious FC Dallas celebrates the famous treble. FC Dallas fans are celebrating the magnificent treble after beating Philadelphia 3-0 in the MLS Cup. Dallas have won the MLS Cup, the MLS Supporters Shield, and the US Cup this season. Nation lifted the cup with FC Dallas in 2021 and can now add further success to a growing list of honors and impressive coaching career. So there we go. Quality of possession provides victory. Yes. I don't care about this interview. I'm sending my assistant coach. I'm too happy. FC Dallas is awarded $200K for winning against Philadelphia in the MLS Cup. Good on us. FC Dallas boss Zebu Nation has finally ensured that he will pass into history as one of the greatest coaches ever in North America. Critics are declaring that Nation's coaching ability and desire to win, should ensure that he will climb even higher in the rankings. There are coach rankings? I didn't know that. Consecutive MLS Cup wins for FC Dallas. Yeah, that's right. 2 years in a row now we're MLS Cup victors. That doesn't happen very often. FC Dallas boss pleases the board with the MLS Cup win. Oh yeah, the board is merely satisfied that we won the competition for the second straight season. Blah, blah, blah. Keen to impress on Nation that winning the competition for the second time is an impressive individual feat. Celebrations should be kept to a minimum in order that we may focus on future challenges. That's the board, just being downers right there. Let's see, anything else going on? Thompson, very good performance. Yeah, our scouts there. We received $100,000 after qualifying for the Champions League. So there we go. That brings our total allocation funds up to $2.78 billion, which is not correct in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, if you missed that little gem, we actually have like negative $2.78 billion in general allocation money. I don't know how that happened, but as you can see, yeah, the money's going down even though we're gaining money. So that's because we have negative money. Yeah. So that's a bug that's going to mess us up in the future once we have to pay all of our guys a lot of money. We're not going to be able to do that. So, yeah, it's going to be a problem, but hopefully we can win the Champions League before that happens, and we can end this save on a bang, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to end this save if we win the Champions League, because we've completed every other trophy that we needed to in this competition, in the FM Scout Academy Challenge. We were supposed to win, our domestic league, win our domestic cup, and win the local Champions League, the regional Champions League. So we'll see if we can accomplish that next season as we're making it to the quarterfinals. So there you go. We'll come back for Season 8 in the Champions League. And, yeah, until then, we'll see you later. Bye. We are champions.